Hello, friends. April Woodcock with Touching Clients. Hope that you are well today. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited to share, and keep you up to date. I don't know if I'm excited for excited is the right word, but today we're going to be talking about mobile get-in. Mobile get-in is the word that's come to be after an announcement that came up from Google recently. So one thing for housekeeping, just so you know, there is on the right-hand side, there is an opportunity to ask questions as well as in the chat. I will save questions for the end, however, but please feel free to load up the questions as we're going along, and I will do my best to make sure that I get to answer all of them at the end. So let's get going. All right. So just some history. My name is April Heavens Woodcock. I'm with Touching Clients. I'm the Chief Buzz Officer, as I like to call myself. We're a digital marketing agency located out in Franklin, Connecticut. However, we work with clients locally, and also, I have the opportunity to work with clients around the world. So that's kind of cool. Kind of a little bit of background history. We've been in business for 8 years. We are a I would say kind of one of our biggest things is we help clients build strategies and work with their online marketing to help grow their brand awareness in their business. One of the things that we, I think our biggest strength, I know is one of our biggest strength is what we do in educating our clients. It's really important for us to be able to provide current information to help businesses grow their business. So I'm constantly, and my team is constantly researching, attending seminars, updating our knowledge base so we can bring it to you as our clients and our colleagues and our friends and share the most current information. So um, and that really brings me to kind of our agenda for today. What is mobile Geddon? We're going to go over that and talk a little bit about it and why you don't necessarily need to be afraid of that word if you've heard that word. Some things you should know, tools that you're going to need, and just some next steps in following up on what this new change is going from Google. That they are going to basically, if your website is not mobile friendly, considered mobile friendly, you will be penalized in the search engines. And really, this came about because, as many of us know, the more and more that we use smartphones, mobile technology, it's over 50% of active searches are done on a mobile phone. So if you think about generational, so us over in the 40 and fabulous club and older, we've been using cell phones for probably way less than our children. And this younger generation, they start getting phones. Geez, I've heard of 8-year-olds getting phones, which I have an 8-year-old and he does not have a phone. However, I always like to kind of share this story. My daughter, she's 14, and I had her when I was 28, and we have this conversation, and she still just can't fathom the idea that I got my first cell phone at 28, and partly because my husband and I own cell phone stores. And even with that, our cell phone, it was a T-Mobile phone that was not a flip phone, but it was one of those small phones, and we shared it. And it was one of those things at the time where, I don't even think there was internet on it, and we shared it. And remembering the phone was just, I never remembered to bring the phone. It was like, well, I tried the cell phone. Well, that's just for emergencies. So I am in the fabulous 40 club now. It's not quite 20 years ago. However, technology has changed, and the way that the marketplace is really engaging online does come down to that mobile search capability. So with this announcement with Google, it really comes down to user experience. What they've determined is that their search engines, really, people are over 50% are using mobile phones to search. So if you're a restaurant, if you're a business to business, people, when they're, and I'm sure you all see them. Unfortunately, I think sometimes we're too connected, but I was actually at dinner last night, and there was a younger couple. They probably were in their 20s, and they're sitting there and they had eaten, but then they're both, their heads down or in their phone. So people are doing searches everywhere, whether it's directions to call you, whether they're just looking at information sharing. So what Google has said, if your website does not give the user experience and it gives a poor rating to users, you're going to be penalized in terms of search. So you really want to take a look at your website and see if it's mobile responsive, mobile friendly. And really what that means is there's a few attributes that go with that. So what is kind of defined as a mobile friendly site is how it displays on the handheld devices, whether it's smartphones, iPhones, tablets. And what you really want to make sure is that you are avoiding any kind of software on a mobile device such as Flash. So if you remember when we first built our websites way back in the day, and for those of you that don't have a website, most newer websites, if you're looking to build a website now, are mobile responsive. It's something that most web designers are hip to at this point in time. But back in the day when we were developing websites, Flash was like the coolest thing. And Flash is like fast moving images. So you want to make sure that your website doesn't have that anymore, that you use text that's readable. And basically what that means is a good test is if you're on a mobile device, and I know this has all happened to you, that if you click on something and you're trying to get to read that information and you can't scroll because the text is so small, that you have to zoom in. But if you don't have that zoom in capability and your website is stagnant, Google is going to penalize for this. Size of your content to the screen, so users don't have to scroll. That's another piece of being able to be mobile friendly in your website, and also links that are far apart. So the good news is if you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to figure this out? Do I have to call somebody? No, you don't have to call anybody. I'm going to show you a great mobile tester that Google has put out for your website for you to be able to test that. So here's just an example of what a mobile friendly, mobile responsive website looks like. So this is a friend of ours, Summit Fitness and Sports, and on the left-hand side, this is what their website looks like without a mobile website. So there's two different types of ways that you can mobilize your website. There is the mobile responsive design. So as your web designer designs your website, there's a way that they take into account all the attributes that Google's looking for, and it's called mobile responsiveness. So it responds very friendly on a mobile phone. And then there's what's called on the right-hand side, which you've all found as well, I'm sure, in your searches, is a mobile website. So basically, you can actually, this is almost like a cover to your current website. So for some reason, if you find that your website's not mobile friendly, this is another option, and this is a mobile website. So there's mobile responsive here on the left, and then there's mobile friendly mobile website on the right-hand side. So because of this big announcement, and I will tell you, like you hear about, a lot of times I'll say, oh, Facebook or social media is changing, and Google does make changes all the time. And you hear announcements. There was a Bluebird was last year. Then they did something with sharing content on Google. But this development and this announcement is very, very huge. And I need to give you more insight to it. So when I say that your website needs to be mobile friendly, so for example, if I was searching for a restaurant, I'm visiting Cape Cod, I'm looking for a restaurant, and when I'm looking and I'm going through and I'm doing a search for an Italian restaurant in Sandwich, Mass. So I find, I don't know, I'm going to call it Bella Fiore's because that's a name that comes off the top of my mind. And I go to click on Bella Fiore's and I find that website, it's very difficult to navigate. I can't find what I'm looking for. So what's happened is now, because Google's algorithms kind of picks up whether or not how long your activity has been on the site, how engaged the people will be on your site. And what's going to happen is, because it wasn't a great experience from the user perspective and people have jumped away quickly, it's going to start to put your website farther and farther down in the searches. So the next time somebody goes to search Italian restaurants and sandwich, because your website is not mobile responsive or mobile friendly, you might have been on the first page of Google to begin with, but now you're on the second page. And it's going to give priority to websites in the search engines that have mobile friendliness and mobile responsiveness. So that's a really important piece. So it is going to affect your organic search and what people are doing online. However, if you do already have a mobile friendly site, that's good news, because until your competitors and your competition pick up on, hey, I need to become hip and in the times here in 2015. You're going to organically go to the top of those search engines. So that's good news for those of you that already have that mobile capability, and for those that don't, it's okay. There's still time to change. Yes, it's going into effect April 21st. However, I would encourage you to consider it sooner than later. So what Google did was they actually have this, and just so you know, I'm going to send a replay, and I will send links to all of this information for you to have. And basically, what you do is you go to this website. It's a mobile tester, and you're just going to put in your URL for your website, so your domain name. And what happens is once you put in your URL, it takes a little bit of time. And there's two options what's going to come up. The first option will come from Google, and it'll say, guess what? Not mobile friendly. You have not made the grade for what Google considers mobile friendly, and it will actually tell you why it's not mobile friendly. So on here, it's saying text too small to read, my links are too close together, mobile viewport is not set. So basically, for those of you, there's kind of different types of websites. Our website is done in WordPress, and WordPress has mobile responsive designs. However, we developed our website before there was a mobile responsive design that we had liked at the time. So we do use a mobile website. However, I turned it off to be able to show you what the difference is. So this is non-mobile friendly. Google will give you an analysis of your site, and it's going to tell you exactly why it is not. Now, for those that have maybe a custom website, it actually will give you even further error messages, and it will say, it'll start to give you an option. Did you build the site yourself? And it will answer additional questions for you on why it's not considered mobile friendly. Okay. And then if you actually make the grade, awesome. That's what you get. You get an awesome message from Google that it's mobile friendly, which is what I hope for all of you. I hope that your website is mobile friendly, that you're just, that you've came on the webinar today, you learned something new. However, you're like, hey, I'm psyched. I am awesome. My website is mobile friendly, and I'm ready for the next change that Google has. Bring it on. So that's, you stick it in, it's going to tell you that, and basically it's just going to give you that message. And now kind of the next question is, if for some reason it does not come up, do you need a new website? So, as I've been talking to clients, and I do a lot of educational seminars, I've been sharing this information. And so things to consider if you need a new website. If you have a website that, excuse the term, is a dinosaur, that you haven't updated your website in 20 years, I would say if you haven't updated your website in the past 10 years and have done no content updates or no upgrades, you may want to consider updating your website. The challenge is that websites can be very expensive. So you really have to take a look at your business budget and take a look at the budget and see what is going to work for you. So you can have a custom built website, custom WordPress. And so there's lots of different types of websites too. So you have websites that are HTML, which are hard coded websites. I personally, and within our agency, are big fans of WordPress. WordPress is a very common program. That doesn't mean that you can't have a really nice custom WordPress website to exactly what you want, because WordPress does have that availability. There's templates available. But I would say that if you are looking to build and design a new website, I would definitely recommend WordPress. And the reason is, from a small business perspective that wears many hats, it's very easy to update. Then there's also services. When you're looking at your budget, so you have, I would say a good WordPress website is going to cost you about $2,500 or more. You can find somebody to do it less for that. However, I would caution you to make sure that you're asking the right questions. And I'm more than happy if you have questions about asking a web developer, because when you get into a $500 website, you're missing a lot of the components that you really need for a website. Then if you don't have the budget to do a WordPress website, I would offer, and I will put some services that are available. There is some website services that charge you a monthly fee that you can buy into a service. You still own your domain name. So like our domain is touchingclients.com. So we would still own that. However, we're paying for an online service that every month I pay them, it could be nominal. It could be as low as $35 a month for a website. However, the minute that I stop paying them, my website goes away. I'll still own my URL, but my website will go away. And then there is some really good services out there, and I do recommend some. And it's just being educated, and also it comes down to your budget because so, for example, if you're a newer business just starting out to do a website, or maybe you've been in business for a while and it's been kind of a part-time gig, and you're saying, "Okay, I need a website," um, there it's still a valuable tool to use an online presence. So I talk social media and email all the time, but you need your website. Your website is your business card for people looking for you, and because of that mobile search capability, I would encourage you to definitely think about having a website. So there's two types, custom and then there's services, and I will definitely recommend some services. Now, the other thing for those of you, excuse me, sorry about that. For those of you that do have a website and it's newer and you don't have the budget to do it, there is another option. You can do a mobile website. So basically what it is a cover, and you can add the cover over your website, and it's something that can be designed. What I do like about a mobile website, which is what we use the cover type, is that people can get to services, directions, calling us very quickly and effectively. So if you're a local Main Street location that has business, or if you book appointments, it is definitely a faster way. And obviously, we are a marketing agency and we can help you with some of that. So if you are thinking that you have a website and you want to keep it, and you've gone through and your website's not mobile friendly, we do offer a mobile website with hosting. So, and basically, from now until the 21st, and we may extend it, we're offering 30% off. I will include the link. We can design it for you and make sure that your website is mobile compliant. And if there's questions about that afterwards, you're more than welcome to email us or call our office and definitely answer your questions on that mobile cover. But there is definitely an alternative option that's much more cost effective, especially if you're working within a budget, and especially if you didn't know this change was coming, because this is something where, I think that as not a lot of us knew that all these changes were coming in terms of mobile capability. And again, I will include this link. Okay, so just some things to kind of remember. Basically, this is a quote from Google. The trend has been mobile. The trend has been mobile, and mobile was winning, and now it's won. It truly has won. The way that searches are done, if you actually stop and think about yourself and how you do searches, it's something that you really do want to consider, and it will hinder you getting found in the search engines. And this mobile getting, it's kind of funny, the term used. It's not a scare tactic. I just want to make that clear. It's just, this is happening. It is a major effect to how we do online business. If you sell online, you really do need to make sure that your website is mobile friendly, because you do not want to lose that user, because people look at their mobile phones all the time. And they might be searching for you at 1 o'clock in the morning. They might be searching for you at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you want to make sure that you are mobile compliant, so you do come up in the search engines. All right, friends, what kind of questions do we have today? Let's see. I have, bear with me 1 second here. Please feel free. Yep. Hi, Bill. Thanks for your question here. I am definitely going to send out, when I send the replay, I'm going to send the link to the mobile tester website so you can test to see if your website is mobile friendly. The URL is pretty long. But it's mobile. If you did a Google search for mobile tester, Google mobile tester, you'll find it, but I will also include it in the replay. And the replay will be out within the hour. As soon as we get off, I'm going to clean it up. I actually have all the links ready to go, so feel free to keep an eye out for it, but I would definitely encourage you all to test it. Okay, thank you, Bill. I hope that answers your question. Um, all right, so Anna Beth, are you? Okay, so Annabeth's question, are you just putting yourself on their radar sooner by using their tester software, assuming you come up with errors? No, Anna, that's a great question. No, because it comes down to users. So it comes down to people searching and navigating. So if you came up in a search engine for your website, um, and the user experience was not as good as someone that was similar in that search, it's going to come down to so I guess the key thing is I don't believe that it's going to be this immediate like, oh my gosh, now my website's not mobile friendly, and I'm going to drop to page 7 in Google. However, Google is weird in the way, and I say that in the sense because I don't understand all the algorithms that Google offers, but I know that it's going to come down to the user experience, and they can't stress that enough. And to be honest with you, when I was doing research on this, I actually wrote a blog post on it, which is on our website. And in that blog post, when I was researching it, there's lots of big brands that you would be surprised that have thousands of dollars. Like I'm sure their websites are probably $50,000, and they're not mobile friendly. And the challenge with those, we actually have an opportunity as small business owners because those big websites, they could easily put just a mobile website that cover over their website, which would solve some of the issues. However, when you have a big website like that, what ends up happening is there's lots of moving parts behind the scenes. So it's going to be difficult for them to get everything they want to pull through to that mobile cover. Chances are they're going to have to, on a big site like those big brands, they're going to have to redo their website. I hope that answers your question. So no, by putting your information in the tester, it's not going to give Google a heads up that your website's mobile friendly. It comes down to searches, and what people are searching for when they search a keyword, term, or phrase within the search engines. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay. Well, I do want to say thank you for coming today. I really appreciate your time. And if there's any questions, I will send this out, but you're more than welcome to email me at awoodcock, WOODCOCK, at touchingclients.com. I have recorded it, so I will definitely make sure that you get the recording here shortly. And again, if you have any questions, reach out, and thank you so much. And I look forward to catching up with you soon and talking with you soon. Have a great weekend. Hopefully the sun comes back out this weekend. We've been spoiled here in New England the past few days. So talk soon. Thank you.